All right, you guys. Hi, my name is Francis, and as I said, I finished my first automation a few days ago, and promised this video and just to present you what it's all about. So let me tell you the context. It's a life coach that has the number of different appointment system, which is managed through Calendly 90% of the time. She has another source, which is Wix, but I didn't take care of that right now. I wanted to take care of the bunch of the Calendly appointment system. So, and so from there, she first of all she had to ask clients from memory if they were new or not. And if she remembered, and if not, she had to ask, "Are you a new client?" It was not really professional. She was just starting, and anyway, I put a new question in the Calendly form, which asks if it's a new or no client, which was a lot better to determine after that. The other thing in the Calendly, there was there was a question asking if there will be second guests or other guests, and you could put like 10 emails if you wanted. So I put another question asking for the name and the email of the second guest, and there was just not the second guest, second adult, if it's a family or couple. And there's another category which is individual appointments. So this is the context. It took more than like 2.5 months to build it. And let me tell you why. First reason, there was no planning. And I know Simon is saying that again and again. And let me tell you, with this experience, it's a must. If you don't do that, you will do like I did, which is a lot longer. And you have, well, I don't have any hair anymore because I was a lot of time. So, and the second reason, I was working with ChatGPT, which is not a good idea. It's not settled. It's not. It's not. ChatGPT is not made to do that kind of work. It can, but you go around a lot. And I switched to Claude with this experience, which was a lot better. From, let me tell you, ChatGPT made me go around and back and forth for 2 weeks, and with Claude, everything was mixed up, and with Claude, within 3 days, everything was settled. So Claude is a lot more suited for that kind of work. Um, let me tell you the. Let me show you the tools I use. So it's a Calendly and Airtable tool system. Uh, Airtable. It's a base which is made with two tables, one intake submissions. Intake submissions is a whole, like, it's a general. It decides everything from there, and it's linked to intake responses table is the one that will take the data from the form that are filled with by the clients, and everything is controlled with intake submissions. With intake submissions, you will have the adult role, if it's the second or the first guest, the reminders, the next reminder, the reminder count, the reminder status, everything is done there. So this table is the most important one. Okay, and as I said, you have, of course, the Calendly, which I told you already. I had to change a little bit the way the form in Calendly was done. just to have some more context for the client, from the client to go through the whole system so it goes smooth. Okay, let me show you the system. There you go. This is a 3 workflow system. The first one being the Calendly appointment intake. It's all controlled here. Second workflow is the form processing. And the third one is the automated email reminders. We'll go from one by one. So let's start with the first one. Let me zoom a little bit. So it all starts with a Calendly trigger. Everything starts from here. From there, we'll normalize all the information, like the client name, email, phone, the type of consultation, the location, second guess or not. It will generate a boolean for second guest presence, determine expected form counts, everything, and it's all written in here, and it will create the Airtable record with all these informations here. But first, it will check if it's a new client. This is the whole system is made just for new clients. So after checking if it's a new client, if it's not, it will stop. If it is, it will process here, create the Airtable record. It will generate a personalized form URL. So you have every guest will have their form URL so they can fill it. Just gonna go. Before going through if it's an individual or a family or couple, it will go and it will calculate the reminder schedule. Okay, if there's 3 tiers, and it determines which reminder tier to apply. If it's less than 24 hours, there will be a reminder after 4 hours that the appointment is taken. 2 hours before and just 1 hour before. You have another tier, 1 to 7 days. You will receive one reminder the next day at 9 a.m., the day before at 9, and at 6 a.m. the day of the appointment. The tier 3 is when the appointment is more than 7 days away. You have one reminder after 2 days at 9 a.m., 3 days, sorry, just to make sure, 3 days before at 9 a.m. and the day of the appointment at 6 a.m. So it will store all the reminders in the update record. I didn't change the names here. I should. And it will update the records in intake submissions in the Airtable table. So here you process, and it checks if it's a consultation for individual or family or couple. If it's a family or couple, it would check if there's 2 emails or 1. In this scenario, you have 2 emails. You will have every adults will have their URL with their own form URL. Sorry, and here the main guest will have 2 URL, which will be forwarded to the other guest after that, and the individuals will be here, right? The second workflow is the form processing. Here I had a little problem with the Airtable trigger. The Airtable trigger was not working well from 3 weeks ago. I don't know if there was an update, but from 3 weeks ago, everything right. Let me show you what it was doing. It was, no, sorry. Okay. It was going through, let's say you have three forms record here. Let's say there was a fourth one. It was triggering the trigger, and it was taking the top one all the time. So nothing was updated, and it was like mixing the whole system was not working after that. So I had to find a way, and I didn't know why. We tried everything. Sorry, I think I took 2 days, 2 whole days, just to find another way to settle the whole thing, but it didn't work, and I had to find a simple way to fix this. And the way we did, we changed the system here. We took a schedule trigger that we just trigger every 2 minutes, and it will search the intake responses, compare with the appointments with the Calendly event ideas. We'll check the doc status if it's done or not. Let me show you here. Okay, let me just go through. Here, the second one will search intake responses for records where doc status is empty, not yet processed. Calendly event ID there's a Calendly event ID actually. If there's not, it will not be processed, because there's another manual little workflow that the life coach wanted to have before, like this was not ready yet, but she had to get a system with a form that she could use manually. So in this case, there's no Calendly event ID updated, so these ones will not be processed. So checks that, returns run record at a time to process sequentially. It will here the third thing here, the search intake submissions and update record. It will search the intake submissions by Calendly event ID to find the matching appointment. It updates the intake responses record with the link and timestamps. Then it checks if the doc status is to be done or done already. So from there, it will update the appointment status, gets the full intake submissions record, checks if all expected forms are received. It will check the responses count versus expected form count. If yes, reminder status. If in simple words, if, like, let's say there's a couple, if both adults fill their form, the reminder status will be will be put to off, so it stops the reminder. Okay, I will update the intake status to form received. So this is what is done here. Here you have the doc status. It checks if the doc status is to be generated, to be done, to be filled. So if it's done already, it will stop. If it's not, it will go through. And here you normalize the data for Google Doc. Will take the whole. Just this here will take the whole all the information from the form that the adults filled. We'll normalize it. Here, it will copy the template. There's a template in Google Drive, which is made with Google Doc with placeholders. And these placeholders will match the normalization here. Okay. Here, it's not necessary, but it's there. I will take care of that later. I'm not sure what it was done with ChatGPT, so but it's not really useful. Here we'll update it will update the name of the file. It will rename the file with the client name, the role, and the event idea. So it will replace here it's a batch process. So it will get all the placeholders, batch all the placeholders. We had to go for the batch process. We had to make HTTP requests for Google Doc, and here we build the doc metadata. After that, here we'll update the intake responses with the doc status generated, done, and send to email. The therapist will have the emails with the URL of the Google Doc with all the information filled, and the client will get an email saying that the life coach received his or her form. The third workflow here is the automated email reminders. So it started with the cron trigger with every 15 minutes. Excuse me. After that, we'll get the eligible records. It searches intake submissions where reminder status is on. It will get the next reminder at if it's in the past, and it will return all records that need a reminder right now. This whole thing here will determine recipients with all scenarios possible. It's a simple logic. It's not really simple. They had a lot. It has a lot of work in here. We had to redo it a lot of time. So all the scenarios are possible here, and here it will pass through that and send the emails to everybody that needs a reminder. And finally, it will update the Airtable with a reminder count. So if it's 1, it will go to 2. If it's 0, it's going to 1 until it reaches 3. Next reminder at, it will search the intake submissions and it will get the next reminder time. Reminder status off after the third final reminder. So from here, if there has been 3 reminders, it will be put to off automatically. And as well, the reminders will also stop if, as I said, it is controlled in here. It will when the system received all the forms, it will be put to off automatically. So that's the whole system. It was a really very good experience, really. And if I have something to tell you, just it was not the easiest way to start, but after this, I feel a lot more confident with what is to come. Actually, after this one, the next day, I started another workflow and I finished it in 6 hours. And I had the time to do another one in 4 hours. Well, I worked a lot that day, but Anyway, it was a lot quicker after that because I knew where I was going, and I'm starting to know all my nodes. Well, not all of them, but the main ones. And I pretty much know what to do, and I plan first. So I hope you liked it. It was a really a pleasure to do that video for you. I hope you liked it. If you have any question, just don't hesitate to ask me. Send me an email or send me a thread, and I will try to answer the best possible for me. So take care and see you up there. Bye bye.